Hello, fellow beings of light, and welcome to a new year. One that I hope will bring not a new you, as most often wish for, but rather more opportunities for remembrance and reawakening into who and what you truly are, into your inner truths that have always been and will always be. It is 111, which adds up to 3. So it is no surprise to me that today is the day that I'm being called to record this. It is not surprising for another reason, though. What is coming through is a call for choosing conscious commitments to yourself over focusing on goals or resolutions, as the case may be. And I'm guessing that 11 days into the new year, a lot of you are probably already finding yourself struggling with feeling like you are dropping the ball 300 plus days early on them. If that's the case, or you feel yourself headed in that direction, this message couldn't come at a better time. You couldn't be more open to considering a different perspective, a different way of approaching the new year, and how you would like to move forward and upwards in it. If that's not the case, I ask that you still be open. Now, joining us for this channel discussion and message, it is not one of my usual suspects on my team. Instead, as I'm sitting here, what is coming forward is our inner children, and not just from a specific moment in our current life, but lots of moments in our current life and in past, parallel, and even galactic lives. My adult physical brain is wanting to resist that. I mean, what do children know about making commitments? But my intuition, my heart center, my energy field is telling me that it is right, that they are the right ones to lead this conversation, to provide the tools and the mindset needed to make the shift in thinking that will be required by our adult physical brains. Okay, then. Let's pause for a second and take 3 slow, deep breaths, because I am getting the feeling we are going to need them. I'm getting very emotional, and we haven't even started yet. So I'm pretty sure these kiddos are going to pack a collective punch. Whew. Arishamos karakatis karamakatis karokas katakatis katakati katakati. They are with us. We are surrounded. We are supported. We are safe. We can proceed. Why do we struggle with goals, with resolutions so much? What is the problem with them? They are a dangerous combination of outcome-based and expectation-based attachments, a topic we covered in episode 6 of our podcast at the end of December. Yep, there's that divine timing again. When we set a goal or a resolution, there is a final outcome we are seeking, often in the form of achieving this or doing more of this, because it achieves an outcome without coming right out and saying it. It's kind of like trying to cheat our way out of the attachment problem, but it doesn't actually work. You can say you want to exercise more or eat better, but that adult physical brain of yours knows you really mean that you want to lose weight or get healthier by the end of the year. Whether your goal or resolution is direct or indirect, internal expectations begin to instantly form. We expect ourselves to succeed. We expect ourselves to stay on track. We expect ourselves to not just consistently take steps forward, but to always be taking steps forward. We expect ourselves to change our habits literally overnight. Because what? A new year started? Yeah, those expectation attachments are harsh little monsters. That's not how real life works. Forming new habits, making long-term change, that takes time. Not to mention, we all have bad days. We all get sick. We all have interruptions for work, family, or other responsibilities and priorities. We all have opportunities that arise that we couldn't or shouldn't say no to. More importantly, we all need a break sometimes. Otherwise, we could literally break. I don't know about you, but I've had my fair share of breakdowns from pushing myself too long and too hard, from setting unrealistic expectations of myself or unrealistic goals and resolutions. In all honesty, I've recently experienced one after being sick back to back for over a month and getting further and further behind on content goals, right when all of this Your Goddess Awakening was just getting started. Life happens. And if you are knee-deep in attachments when it does, you are going to be thinking and feeling all kinds of not good things about yourself and about your ability to fulfill your goals or resolutions. Because we forget that it often happens for a reason. That we are on Source's timing. That we are here to experience the highs and the lows, to learn and to grow, not to just cruise along on an easy path. Me, I got attached to the content I wanted to produce and the schedule I wanted to follow. So attached that I forgot that all of this is channeled, that it wasn't just about or from me, that my whole team of guides needed to be on board and on the same page, that I needed to follow their guidance and timing, that I needed to allow all of this to unfold as it is meant to. I did what we all do when we set goals and resolutions, when we allow ourselves to get swept up in those outcome and expectation monsters that arise from them. I set myself up for failure, mentally, emotionally, and even physically. We set goals and resolutions. We narrow our sight onto an outcome. We expect success. We expect perfection. We forget we are human. We forget divine timing. We forget life does not work that way. And the more we fall short of our expectations, the farther our outcome and success gets, the harder we get on ourselves. And often, the more hope we lose until we are either just going through the motions or give up altogether. It's a pattern, a cycle, one we desperately need to break if we are to truly move forward, to expand, especially when it comes to our journey to remembrance and reawakening. Because I don't know about you, but that is one area I most definitely don't want to set myself or those around me up for failure in. How can we do that? What makes conscious commitments different? The simplified version, a goal or resolution is something that we set once, a single time, then begin working towards it. A commitment, on the other hand, and many people don't realize this, is a conscious choice that we make and must continuously remake over and over again. To put what I mean by this into context, let's roll out some alternate terms for commitment. Responsibility, dedication, attention, devotion, assurance, loyalty. There's a theme here. None of these terms are one and done. They are ongoing. None of these terms has a singular outcome or expectation. They change and evolve. Commitments are ongoing, renewable. Commitments change and evolve, can be remade each and every day, and each and every time you fall down or need a break. I'm gonna stop for a moment because I'm sensing that some of you are thinking, hold up, can't I just apply commitments to my goals and resolutions? Yes, you can, but you aren't there yet. What is coming through, what myself and our inner children are trying to teach, is a habit that you need to form, that you need to build up before taking on the hard stuff. The stuff that has its own habit of breaking you down. Now, For me, the habit of making ongoing conscious commitments and the awareness that doing so sets you up for success instead of failure is something that came into my energy field when I began studying Reiki over a year ago. For those unfamiliar with Reiki, it is an energy healing modality that has 5 core principles underlying it. Affirmations to start your day, meditation practice, and sessions with. My personal version of it is slightly different, but each line begins the same and carries the same meaning as the original version. Just for today, I will trust in myself and not worry. Just for today, I will not act or react out of anger or fear. Just for today, I will be honest with myself and others. Just for today, I will be grateful for all that I have and will receive. Just for today, I will be kind to every living thing, including myself. From the start, what stood out to me about these principles the most was the just for today. In those words, there is no expectation that you must embody each principle perfectly every single day for the rest of your life, or you have failed. But rather, all that is asked of you is a daily commitment that just for today, you will do your best to embody that principle. Where the former, the expectation, makes you forget, the latter, the daily commitment, makes you remember that each day is a new day, that you can always start again, that you can recommit and try again. Can you see how approaching all areas of your life, whether it is goals and resolutions or work and relationships with others and yourself, could be so much easier and more enjoyable and more peaceful in the good and in the bad if you approach it with a mindset of making regular conscious commitments, with a mindset of just for today. Just pause and think about that for a moment. I think that pause was half because I felt it was truly needed, and half because I've known what is coming since early on in this discussion, what all of our inner children are calling me to share. And I know it's not going to be easy for me. I have shared an example of kind of the easier end of making ongoing conscious commitments, a good starting point for building the habit. What they are calling me to share now, though, is a more recent example of making ongoing conscious commitments when it comes to the hard stuff, to show you the effect building the habit can have. Mental health disorders are something I have had since birth. Depression, general anxiety disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and along the way, later in life, social anxiety joined the party. When I hit low points that last for more than a few hours or days, one of the coping mechanisms that I have always turned to since I was a child was books. They gave me an escape, the illusion of feeling better, of being someone else, being somewhere else, of everything being okay when it really wasn't. I would get lost in them. I could read one or more books a day for weeks or months, shutting everything else off and out. It interfered with me living my life and with my relationships, especially the older that I got. The last time that I allowed it to happen, to take over my life, was early spring last year, and for about 2 months. It was after my Reiki studies and before a lot of the work and expansion that I've done before now, before launching Your Goddess Awakening. The last time the urge to give into it hit, however, that was over the last 8 weeks. As I've said, I've been struggling with being sick, with getting behind with content and the schedule for all of this. And on top of that, 2024 was the first year that the full effect of an empty nest hit me during the holidays. My kids all off celebrating with their partners' families for Thanksgiving and Christmas instead of being at home. It has been a lot, and I have hit some very low points during these last 8 weeks, and I have wanted to open a book more times than I can count to escape. But for the first time in my life, I haven't. Not a single one. I have upgraded my awareness of myself enough over the last 9 months to know that if I open that door, I will not stop at one. To know that I will fall down a rabbit hole. To know that it will be weeks and months until I get back up out of it again. To know that all the work that I have been doing and all of the progress I have made will be on hold until I do. That my mission and all that I am being called to share with all of you will be put on hold until I do. No, thank you. I have been delving into the soul aspects of my highest light body and the wounds of guilt and shame we have been carrying around over the last 2 months, enough to know that if I open that door, I will be opening those wounds further again, undoing all of the work we have been putting in together, putting us all through the emotions and process of healing what has already been healed all over again. not happening. Instead, every time the urge hits to escape from the thoughts and feelings swirling around me, I have made a conscious commitment to face them, to work through them, to remember they are temporary and not me, to keep moving forward instead of picking up a book and trying to escape. And yes, I've been struggling for the last 8 weeks that I have chosen not to escape. But you know what? I've also been getting shit done. I've still been producing content. I've still been doing my work. I've still been maintaining my routines. I've still been taking step forwards. I've been showing up for myself and in my relationships. And I've been showing off my strength and resiliency. Do you think I am thinking and feeling all kinds of not good things about myself and about my abilities to continue forward with my journey and my missions right now? Do you think I'm thinking and feeling like I'm failing or hopeless when it comes to those things? No. That version of me, the one that has ever thought or felt that way, that wasn't me. And it is gone. This version, this one right here, talking to you right now, this is the real me, who I am, who I always was, and who I always will be. And I am pretty damn proud of her. Whatever it is that you are struggling with or through, whatever it is that you need or want to work on, I want you to be able to get to that point too. I want you to have a story like the one I just shared when it comes to the hard stuff for you. And getting there, it starts not with making goals or resolutions, but with building a habit of making ongoing, conscious commitments to yourself. Our inner children are guiding me to bring the discussion piece to a close. At least I think they are. What I'm getting is less words and kind of more of a visual of a mic dropping. That's definitely them trying to lighten the energy after such heavy sharing. So let's do that. If you are able, go ahead and let some wiggles out. Your fingers, your toes, your whole body. And feel free to unleash some toning or light language as well. Whatever feels natural. They want us nice and loose for their closing message. Oh, good. Now, fair warning, the last time a collective of inner children came through for me, the variation and overlapping of light language was a bit crazy, but in a playful way. So hear and feel it as such, if that's what comes through. Ooh, that was a lot of hellos and various other greetings. I'm actually going to see if I can drop in with them a bit deeper and get to the message they're wanting to bring through. You adults, you get so caught up in your heads and in the future. You call us overdramatic, yet you are the ones that make everything so hard. The ones that get so hung up on silly things you need not worry about. Embrace your inner child, your sense of innocence and of adventure and wonder. Ara sanamakadis kadaros kadakadi. Ara sarakadis kadakaus kadanana. Ara skana skanana. Ara skurus kadabakadis kadaras kadaras kadakara. Approach each day, each task, each interaction as a new and separate opportunity. And expect nothing more of yourself than that which you would expect of us. That you do your best. Because that is all you can do. All any of us can do. They are wanting to do a bit of activating and integration to give some playful and childlike remembrance to you. So I'm going to open the channel a bit further for them to do that. But ask that they not overlap too much, because that is a struggle for me to keep up with. So try to take turns a little bit, guys. Arashamurs katakaris katakutikatikatikatikatis katamakataras katakaros katakaros katakatakaris katakatidoros katakati atitititititors katakatitititors katamakatiris katakati arashamodarex katakati wurs katati arasharamakatis kata arashrus katakatis kata Riskurashkara. Ara, 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 ara. Ti. Ishkanama, ishkanama. Arashnani, ishkanama. Arashushkara, ashkanama, rushkara, mushkara. Arashushkara, urshkara, rashkara. Ishkara, urshkara, burshkara. Ti. Hari shuskara Ashanamakatiskara Arashushkanama Arashumakariskadakati Arashi Katikadishkadashkadabarashkada Pakadishkadakadishkadamakati Kala Arashushkanamakadiskadaka Arashushkama Aroshama Kadirishkana Makadirashkurashkana Parakarashkana Karishkana Gushkana Kaprikishka Parikapika Parikushka Arashamushkana Kadishkana Arashana Makdishkana Kushkana Arashushkarma Arashumakati Arashurakatiskala Arashu Ara Ishwaraskala Paktiskala Paktiskala Katiguskala Kati Arashi Katikiti Katikuruskala Kati Hishkala Katikati Ara Ushana Arashus Kadais Kadi Arosha Makadis Kadakadi Arishkan Makadi Washkadakadish Kadakapakadish Kadakapakadish Kadakapakadi Washkadakadi Arashuna Makadis Kadakadi Arashushkan Makadis Arushkan Makadis Kadakadish Kadamakadis Kadakadi Arishkanamakadi Rishkanamakadi Rishkanamakadi Arushkama, Araskama, Araskamakadiskama, Oshkamakadiskaramakade. They are complete. Thank you so much for joining me, and of course, all of our inner children, for this discussion and message and activation. I hope that it gave you some things to think about as the new year continues to get underway. If you are listening to this in January, or as your mid-goal or resolution at some other point in the year. If you are interested in hearing our discussion on attachments, it was featured on episode 6 of our podcast, which aired December 30th, 2024. You can find it on our YouTube channel via the podcast playlist. I would recommend episode 2 and 4 on alignments and agreements that went along with it as well. Last but not least, if you are interested in learning more about making conscious commitments to yourself and getting some help with forming and building that habit, we are launching a 21-day challenge today entitled Commit to Yourself. Daily challenges will kick off with a brief discussion piece and include a mix of affirmations, journal work, and other activities, depending on the type of commitment being asked of you. Commitment number 1, seeing yourself as more. Want to know what the other 20 will be? You will have to sign up to find out. You can do so through the offerings and challenges section of our website, www.yourgoddessawakening.com, as well as through the link in the description for this video. Arishkamakati!